Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Thanks for joining us for the Power Hour this month of May. We'll give it another minute or so if you want to sign in, and then we'll get going with the Power Hour for this month. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, evening. It looks like we have most of the people signed up at the moment. See, there's still one or two guys jumping on board, but I think we're good to get going. It's a minute or so after 8. Thanks for your time, for joining us for this main Power Hour. The connected workflow, the office to field to office, we will present to you today, show you what we've done. This is still an ongoing project that we try and improve on, and hopefully the things that we show you today will be beneficial to you when working with data and making it easier to get data from the office into the field and again back into the office with minimal fuss and not having to spend time waiting for data from the field before you can start with your office work. Next slide there, Ben, please. The two guys that you will be hearing from today, it's myself, Albert Willifeer. I'm the Technical Product Manager for TBC. And joining me is Ben Messer, Product Manager for TBC. Ben, you can just quickly say hi to everyone.
Good afternoon, good morning, evening, everybody. Glad you can attend. Looking forward to sliding through the presentation and then doing the quick live demo.
Thanks, Ben. Just one or two housekeeping items quickly. So once again, if you have joined us before, any questions, please put it in the Q&A. At the bottom of your Zoom bar, you will see the Q&A icon. Please type in your questions in there for us, and we'll get to them as we go along. If we don't get around to all the questions, we'll definitely reach out to you. I will be launching a poll just now, 5 questions. Should take you 10 or 15 seconds to answer them. We greatly appreciate it. It's always good to get feedback from you guys. So I have just launched that poll. So if you guys can spend a quick 10, 15 seconds to quickly run through that and give us some feedback, that'll be great. And we appreciate it. And anything else I wanted to mention? Nope, I think that's it for the start. So Ben, over to you. You can get going with the presentation.
Excellent. Does the poll still stay up while I'm sliding through?
Yes, the poll will be up until we finish with the Q&A section. So keep it up there for anyone that wants to do it as we go along.
Great. All right. Thanks, Albert. So like Albert said, we're going to be talking about connecting the TBC to the office or to the field with the newish Connected Workspace. And kind of the reason for the Connected Workspace was to simplify that workflow. Last release we did in 2023.10, we simplified the process of taking the data from the field to the office. And then with 24.0, we went through the opposite process. We wanted to make the kind of that circle of data sharing. So going from the office to the field. And really the whole idea is it's not necessarily to eliminate Sync Manager, but it's more to, give you another option of how you want to transfer data. In my opinion, this is more of a simpler process. To me, it's quicker. There's really fewer clicks there. And again, it's like a simpler process. So I'm going to quick go through basically like I said, the circle of life, I guess. So in 23.10, as you can see here, there's basically 6 steps. That was what we integrated for 24.0. So in 23.10, we did step 4, step 5, and step 6. So you can take your data from the field through Connect back into the office. So for 24.0, we're now taking it from 1, 2, and 3, publishing the design files, managing the design files, and then getting them into Access. So for step 1, publishing the designs are basically, you're taking DXFs, CSV files, Surface files, and sending them up to the cloud. So sending them up to Connect. Here's an example of taking a Surface file and you want to send this up to the Connect for Access. We implemented in 24.0 this remote save option. So before 24.0, you only had 2 options. You had export and close. So again, we implemented this remote save. And what that does is it opens up the Connected Workspace. You're going to see the projects you have in Connect, and you simply select the project, or hit save, and that design file ends up in Connect. So similar to this, the files there, and gives Access the ability to basically link into that project. So here's also another example where you have the ability to drag and drop that design file as well into Connect. So now, once those files are in Access, now step 2, into Connect. Now there's step 2 where you can manage those files in Connect. So here is where you have the files. You can manage who has access, what type of role they can have. You can activate it, deactivate that file, invite people. So that's basically where you would have basically the managing of the file. Then into Access. In Access with Layer Manager, you can link those files to that job. You can link the same job or same design files to another job. Multiple people can sync those that same design file. So there's a lot more functionality there with Layer Manager, which is relatively new in Access. So here you can see you have I think it's 7 files or 8 files that are in Connect. And as you can see, the same files show up in Access just by selecting Trimble Connect. Now you're in the field, you collect the data, end of the day, you want to send that to the office. Next step is essentially syncing syncing Access to Connect, and those job files that you want to send, you sync into Connect. And again, in Connect, place where you can manage those files. As you can see here, this is the Connect project. These are all the job files that all the guys in the fields sent up to the project. And now in the office, step 6, you connect through the Connected Workspace to import all those job files. Again, pretty simple. The process is almost seamless. I mean, it should be very simple. Again, a very simple process. So now in TBC, the Connected Workspace, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's under the Home tab, Data Exchange section. It's to the left of the import export options that have been there since day one. You select the connected workspace icon, it opens up the workspace. You select the project that you would see in your or in Connect. You select whatever job file you want to import. And as you can see here, you get the some of the job information, but it also lists the files that are available to import into TBC. So in this case, we have 2 scans that were collected. We have 32 images. Now those images are basically attributes to or linked to pictures that were taken, so like control marks that were collected with the TSE 7 or 5, and so these aren't the scan files, just to be aware. And then also all the points that were shot during the topo, and then additional imports. These are all the T02 files. If for some reason there is I don't know, a surface that was created, I guess, or imported, that would be another option. So basically, these are all the files that exist in the job file or are linked into the job file. So you'd go through if you want to import 1 or 2 of these static files. We'll select the T02 file, and then it's as simple as hitting import, and it imports into the project. So again, pretty simple. And now I'm gonna switch over to TBC. Albert, can you see my TBC screen?
Yep, all good to go, Ben.
Excellent. So in TBC, I'm just gonna, and again, this is for demonstration purposes. I'm kind of gonna go out of order. Typically, I would select all these and drag them in, but again, for the demonstration, I'm just gonna import my parcels and control marks. And the control marks, that CSV file, the northing and easting are out of order. So I need to go in and just modify that for the import. Typically, I would just hit import if they're aligned correctly, but I'm just gonna run through, select, or change the order of the control marks or the coordinates, hit import. I do not want to save that. Import those points, and as you can see, control marks and my parcels. So from here, I just want to export a DXF. I'm going to select export. Now this export or this DXF is going to be the control marks and the parcels. I have everything selected. I got my DXF. I can change the version of that file. I can explode the box, whatever I need to do. But as I mentioned at the start, we have this new remote save option. Selecting remote save opens up the connected workspace dialog. I do have the option here to create a project. I already created the project. So I created the connected Power Hour project. I'm going to save it in that project. I'm going to call this, or we'll call it stuff, generic name. I hit save. Now that project or that DXF file is saved up into my Connect project. And another option I have is just going through the connected workspace and uploading a file. So here I'm going to upload file is. So I'm going to sort again. I'm going to upload that job file into the connected workspace just through the connected workspace dialog. Now there's no job files collected yet, so they're not going to be listed. But if I go to files, you can see I uploaded that DXF. So I'm also going to upload my surface file, and I'm just going to navigate to that folder, and I'm going to select the road surface, hit open, and it's going to upload to my project in Connect. Now to get to Connect, I can hit this icon up in the top right, and it will take me right to my project. or I can simply open up Connect and select that project in Connect. So here, as you can see, there's no files. What I need to do is go to Data and Explore, and now you'll see those files. And another option is, as I said, there's 3 basic options. You can also drag and drop that DXF, the foundation DXF. So 3 options, 3 basic options, not using Sync Manager. And, oh, I forgot, I need to give Albert permission. So I need to invite Albert. And I'm going to give him admin rights. Here you have the option user admin. I'm definitely going to give him admin. I'm going to invite him. So now Albert's got permissions in Connect for this project or for these files. And a couple other options here. You can, again, take away the rights. So you can deactivate the person. You can delete person if, say, the person left your company. If you're admin, you basically have full rights. You can also delete the project if you need to do that. But Albert, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, sure. We can then have a look at Trimble Access. So if I'm in the field and I now want to do that, let me.
I'm sorry, Albert. How do I change?
Don't worry, I'll just start sharing on my side and it will automatically jump into my screen. So no worries there. Let's jump into which one is I'm going to do screen number 1. That's the one I want. Share that screen. And then hopefully you can see Trimble Access.
I can see Trimble Access.
Okay, there we have Trimble Access. And first of all, you need to make sure you have a Trimble Access sign in actually done. So I'm just quickly going to sign in to make sure I've got my subscription sorted there. Just quickly get that linked for the laptop. Obviously, it's not needed to sign in unless you set it that way. And there we go. Now I have my license sorted out, and I now need to go and have a look and see. There is the project that Ben shared with me. And as you can see, it is grayed out at the moment. So I have to download the information for myself so I can access the data that Ben sent to me. So I will just click on all those and accept it. And now it will download those files for me. There we go. Now I need to set up my project in Trimble Access. And I know we have had a question about this already, Ben, and that is something that I'm pretty sure we both knew was going to come up, is how do you sync project settings between Trimble Business Center and Trimble Access? At the moment, that is something we'll build on for phase 3 to make sure you can link project settings that you set up in TBC to directly flow through Connect and into Trimble Access. At the moment, we don't have that functionality active yet. That is what we're planning for the next phase, correct, Ben?
Correct. But, you know, in Access, you still, when you create the project, you still can assign a coordinate system there. But correct, we're working on it.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly add a job 1 power hour for myself, and then this specific scale project settings is actually in, let's quickly have a look, New Zealand. Memory serves me right. Just quickly find that. New Zealand, that's the one there. This is done with that. There is no duet model for this one, and the project height is 20 meters. I will then store that and accept. So now I have generated my job. Now I want to view all the data that I have. So simply click on the layer manager, and over there we can now activate the information we want to view. Click on accept. And as you can see, we now have our job data imported, and I can go view it. And there we have all the relevant information for me to go do the job in the field. Again, simply by clicking, I can go stake out the points that is required. Oops, I don't want to select those points. Let's just click off there. There we go. Now I am in the field. I am doing some work and I would like to add a few points for measurements. I'll just quickly randomly key in some points here. So let's say we start with just shot one. If you want to, the global feature code library is in here as well. So if you want to use feature code libraries, this you can do in here as well. It will bring that information through. And let's say we are measuring broadleaf trees for this exercise, just to give us an indication there. I can add the elevation. Obviously, if you have your GPS connected, you don't have to type in all those things and enter and store. That's just the information that is in your feature code library. So you obviously have to capture that information. I'll just leave it as is. And then I'll move around. Let's say there's another one over there. Key that in again, elevation 22. Store that point, leave that as is, and do another one. There we go, elevation 22. Store that. Now I've done, oops, 4. Let's do one more point for you, Ben. So you have 4 points to import. 22. Store that. Okay. Now I've completed the work in the field. How do you now sync that data back into TBC? So just in the settings part of your connected project, you will see the sync icon up here. Very important to have a look at what the options are for syncing, because the connect sync up is not just only for you to quickly upload and download the files. This can be a good way to back up your data as well from your controller. So it has the added benefit that you can actually set this up to sync continuously to your Trimble Connect project, and you can keep your data safe in case you forget your controller on the top of your pickup and you drive off. At least you will still have your data, and your controller might not be with you anymore. So if you tick the upload link files, you can do that, and you can then tell it to automatically upload the current project. Now you have an options to say periodically, and I can then tell Trimble Access every 5 minutes, please sync my project data to Trimble Connect, so I have an up-to-date backup of my job as I go along. This you can set to every 1 minute, you can set it to every hour. That's up to you, depending on how regularly you want to sync up your data. You can also tell Trimble Access to sync it when you close the job, when you sign in, and when you end the survey. Those options are available there as well. File download settings, download as Trimble, so that's when it comes to IFCs. That's how you can set that up. And again, automatically download updates. This is important. If there is any changes that somebody does to your files, Trimble Access will automatically then notify you that there's the new update and download that new file for you. So you always have the most relevant and up-to-date data in your Trimble Access project if anybody changes something in the office. Now that we've done that, nope, I don't want to abandon changes. Let's accept them quickly. Now that has been done. So if I go back into my project and I now have a look at my job file, you will see I now have the linked files that is in there. And obviously I forgot to tick that. No, the link files is always there. So if I do add a file in the field, like Ben showed, let's say the client decides to quickly in the field send you an email and say, oops, here's the latest layout that we want you to quickly add into the project via the Trimble Connect web interface. Add that file up, add that file. And then, as I mentioned in your settings over there, upload linked files, you can tick, and it will upload the new files that you link to the project to Trimble Connect. And then the guy in the office can actually see those files as well when they download the job through the Connected Workspace in TBC. Let's just accept that. Don't have any added files there, so we'll open up the project again. Then my job file. Those are the linked files that I can now see what is there, and the job status is I can change it to in progress. You'll see it changes it there, and then it uploads that change for me as well. So in the connected project, in your web interface, you will now be able to see what is the status of the job as the guys progress in the field. I can even assign this to somebody else as well if I want to. So by simply adding it, I can add this to another guy if you're a two-man team, and or you find out that the job is a bit larger or you need to do it quicker and you need to have a second person help you out. You can just assign this job to that person and the both of you can work on the same connected project in the field, and it's easy to share the data. You don't have to go run around, try and find a USB or link it up in a different way. Easy way to share the data with other guys on the job site. I will then change it to work complete. You will see that will give me that little tick mark. It has already been uploaded because I didn't change anything in it. And if I then open up this, then you should be able to now see all the information that I've captured in the field back in Trimble Business Center. So I think that is now your chance to show everyone how to bring the data back into TBC.
Excellent. Thank you. And yes, now I will. Albert, see my screen?
Yep, your TBC is back up. We can see it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, as Albert said, now that all that data is up in Connect, I can view Connect if I want. If I go back to the Explorer, as you can see, there's the same design files. Nothing's been
Ben, we cannot see your workspace.
Oh,
we only see TBC still. So I think you just shared your TBC, not the screen.
Is it now? You don't see Connect?
No, I don't see Connect.
How about, sorry about this. How about now?
There we go. Now we can see it.
All right. So yeah, since Albert has finished the project in the field, he synced the job file. As you see in Connect, I can see the job file. I still see the design files, but no job file. I go to to-dos. Here I'll see the job file that has been created. Priority is normal, nothing different there. But now that that's in Connect, I can simply go into TBC, go to the Connected Workspace, and that will open.
We don't see your TBC at the moment, Ben.
How about now?
There we go. We got TBC back.
All right, cool. So let me quick show that again. So now back in TBC, I want to upload that job file, and I'll open up the Connected Workspace. And this is where it's super simple to import. I'll look for that Connect project. Now, when I open that project, now you can see, and I've selected the job option, it actually defaults to jobs. When it opens, I see the job file that was created. I can sort if I have a list of 100 job files, I can put in, I can filter by job name, priorities. So if we change the priority in Connect, say we change it to high, if it's selected there, and we have 15 high priority files, it'll be all sorted to the top of the list. Status, again, if I want to sort by that, I'll set that to fieldwork complete. If, as you can see here as well, the designation as fieldwork complete is there. If it was still in progress, you would see that because you're still able to download projects that are still in progress. If I want to sort by assignees or now available in Access and Connect are the ability to assign tags. So if I want to sort by tags, I can do that as well. So now I want to import that job file. If I select the job file in the Connected Workspace, again, it lists all the all the points that was collected, the coordinate system. If I had scans, that would be listed as well. If I had additional files that were in there, something downloadable, like as Albert mentioned, that he got another layout, that would be included there. If he imported, really, if he created any other, if he did a couple static observations, those T02 or T04 files will be listed there. Since nothing was imported into the project, they're not listed. Here now with 24.0, you do have the option to download to your PC. So you can download it, go to wherever you want and save it on your hard drive. Excuse me. Or hit import. Importing it, it's just like if you were dragging it from USB stick and dropping it into TBC. You can, at this point, it is exactly like that same process. So I want to convert this to the imported coordinate system. And as you can see now, we can see all 4 points that were collected. And it's as simple as that. If there are static observations, those baselines would be there. If there were total station observations from a topo, those observations would be there. So virtually everything, I shouldn't say virtually, everything that was collected in the field will show up in your project. One thing I can also mention, if I made changes to this, say the coordinate or the control points, I forgot to add a couple control marks. I want to key in some control marks. I can add those to this DXF when I go to the Connected Workspace, or when I go to export. If I export the same DXF name, that file will update in Connect. And as Albert did in Access, he set his project up with automatic updates. He will then see the update notification, and he can then update the design file that was, or that DXF file that was linked in Connect or in Access. So as you can see, this is a pretty simple process. I guess, Albert, if you want to take over, I think.
Ben, just quickly, if you can go back into your Connect web interface.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you go into settings, there's actually the extensions and then your survey tools. Yeah, if you tick that on, you should then be able to see the job file in your data instead of having to do it the way that you looked at there. It is not viewed yet. Oh, you can actually view the data then, I think, on a map if you do that connection. If memory serves me right, we'll just have to confirm that. But I think the survey tools allows you to actually be able to view the job information that I captured in the field. We'll see if that brings back up.
I didn't think my internet was this slow.
That's what happens when a live demo is up and running.
Yeah.
I think if you actually go to your 3D view, I think you should be able to see the data in there. And there's some survey tool tasks that you can do. And let's see if it actually shows up. Yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah. There we go. You should be able to see that in there. But yeah, there we have some tools to actually view the data in Trimble Access or Trimble Connect. It's a little bit slow on Ben's side, but there you go. You can start seeing the information that you have done as well. So you can actually view the data in Trimble Connect.
Doesn't look like surfaces are available.
Yeah, we'll just have to run through the survey tools a little bit, but you guys can play around with that. So remember to add the extension of survey tools, and then you'll have some functionality in Connect to view the data and be able to play around with it in Connect and view the data in there. Thanks, Ben. shall we head over to all the nice Q&A questions that we've gotten for this? You can just bring your TBC back up and we can take it from there. Or the presentation, depending on what you want to do there. We can go in there. Yeah, let's just leave it in TBC for now and run through. Shall we start from the top and work our way down, Ben?
Sure. You have the questions or
Yeah, I see Ryan has a first question, and do you reference pictures that is sent into Connect that doesn't show up correctly? We'll have to look into that, Ryan. I haven't tried that yet. Have you done georeferenced images up into Connect to view them in Trimble Access, Ben? Or we'll have to check in with the Access guys on that.
Yeah, we'll have to check on that. There should
Okay.
be no issues there, but yeah, we'll look into it.
Okay. So the pictures show in Trimble Connect, they show in TBC, but I can't open them. We'll look into that, Ryan, and just see what is happening there. We'll have to maybe check in with the Trimble Connect guys as well on that. Is Trimble Connect a separate license? That's a nice one for you to run with, Ben.
Yes, it is. There is a free option. I forget the limit, the file limit. It could be 10 gigs, not positive on that. If you go to the Connect website, they do list all the options, but as long as you do not exceed that size limit, you can connect Connected Workspace to that project. So there might also be a limit to the number of projects. I could be mistaking that with Clarity. But yeah, as long as you don't exceed the 10 gig limit, that free option's available. But for anything over that, there are options. There is a subscription requirement there. But again, you don't have the restriction with the free version to use the Connected Workspace.
Just a note on that as well, talking about that. So if you want to have the syncing option available in Trimble Access, you will have to have a current maintenance available active on your Trimble Access. So as soon as your maintenance expires, you will also lose the functionality of syncing data. Does that apply to TBC as well, Ben? Do we have to have an active maintenance on TBC to be able to sync data? I'm not too sure about that one.
No, you do not. Yeah, there's nothing. I should mention, I forgot to mention at the beginning, you do have to be signed in to your TID account. If you're not, you'll get a message similar to Access and some of the other functions in TBC. It'll just notify you that you need to sign in. So, yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that, Ben. Robert, mentioning that, so instead of having to go through Sync Manager, Project, Properties, Reference, Update, that whole step, Ben, we have now simplified it to make it a bit easier to sync data for TBC.
Correct. Much simpler.
Okay, Nick, let's see, is there any capabilities or plans to implement a preview through the Connected Workspace or Trimble Connect on the browser, where you could click on a job and get a visual preview of points and line was collected? Yes, there is definitely some work being done, Nick, at the moment to extend or to enhance the capabilities in Trimble Connect to actually view data better, search data in different ways, and so forth. So keep a lookout for that. There is definitely an ongoing project to enhance the capabilities in Trimble Connect. And on the TBC side, we're also enhancing the capabilities of how to send data to Trimble Connect. Anything you want to add to that, Ben?
We did talk a while back about a preview that was kind of delayed, but like Albert said, we're constantly working on enhancing the Connected Workspace. That might be something that we implement next few releases, but right now there's no immediate thought of or work plan to put a preview. I agree, it would be a very nice addition, but right now we don't have plans in this next release, or maybe the next, but yeah, nothing immediate.
Thanks, Ben. Anonymous, the guarantee about the project job uploads have the same coordinate settings. So as we mentioned, from TBC at the moment into Trimble Access, that still has to be set up. But as soon as you download, as you saw Ben did, the job file from Trimble Access, you will be prompted by TBC to say, listen, I can see that the project settings you have for Trimble Business Center for this specific data is different from your coordinate settings that I'm reading from the Trimble Access job file. So there is a way that you can ensure that you have a match between the properties for your Trimble Access job and your TBC project settings.
I'm just going to quickly do that one more time.
Yeah, you'll have to undo it, Ben, because you still have the project settings.
Boy, I am excellent at this. You see it again? You see my TBC.
Yeah, COTBC,
Okay.
it is there. I think the project settings is unfortunately still set up correctly, Ben.
Sorry.
You already changed them. But yeah,
Yep.
you will get prompted if there's a difference between what you're importing, and that has been that way for a long time in TBC. As soon as you bring in a Trimble Access job file and the coordinates, well, project settings don't match between the two, TBC will always prompt you, and you can decide, do you want to keep the Trimble Business Center project settings, or would you like to convert it to the Trimble Access job settings that you're importing into TBC? Tim is asking, are there any plans to add a link in File Explorer to get to connect, something like OneDrive or Dropbox? So Ben, I think we do have that already. It's actually with Sync Manager that you can drop files into a specific folder and that will upload the files into Connect. Am I correct there, Ben?
Yeah, there is that option. You need to have that installed on your PC, but there is a way to have Connect Desktop.
Yeah. How do you delete a person? So Ben, do we have a quick way of deleting somebody from a project?
The only way now is through Connect. So that's where you manage all that information. If I need to delete a person, I can select that. And again, I can change the role. I can also, with that selected, I can, what do I do then? Oh, at the very bottom, remove from project. So
that's the way that you can remove a person from the project and they will not have access anymore. Do you need a license for each admin person? So if you make somebody an admin, do you need a license for the amount of admins you have in a project?
That's a great question. I'm not sure about that. I don't think so, but I can't be 100% sure.
Okay, we'll check into that for you, Jeff, and see if we can get an answer there. When will Trimble Connect be FedRAMP certified?
That is something I want to say we're working on, but I don't see any time in the near future that will be able to connect to a federal agency or state agency, if that's restricted. So like that.
Yeah, we are aware of that kind of restriction. I think that's something that came up with the GIS guys as well, and there's always that issue with that stuff. So Trimble is not just on Trimble Connect, but on other software packages as well. That's cloud-based. Trimble is working with governments and seeing how we can best assist in that kind of environment. Bob, is there a practical limit to how much data we can work with to and from Connect? I think we did discuss that there's a maximum file size that you have to have a license if you go bigger than that. We use it all the time for JobD, JPTX, but what about large scan jobs and drone data? So one job can easily be many gigs. So Ben, we can work with many gigs of data in Trimble Connect. It's just, as you mentioned, there is a limit to the amount of data. And as soon as you exceed that, you'll have to get a Trimble Connect business license for a bigger storage space.
Correct. And with the Connected Workspace, we've done 2 releases ago, we did quite a bit of testing, stress testing on the size. I haven't seen a limit, but the transfer speed may be it may take a lot longer than expected. So
yeah, uploading is probably the one that you'll just have to keep an eye on. The bigger the data set, the longer the upload would take to obviously get done. Is there a recommended Access emulator? You can actually install Trimble Access directly on your desktop, and you will have that as an emulator and available there. As Ben mentions, there you go. Simulate device that you can do.
No.
Ben will get that right now. But yeah, if you install Trimble Installation Manager on your desktop or PC, you will be able to install Trimble Access on your desktop or PC, and you'll be able to view about 25 points, I think is the limit, to run with Trimble Access without a license. So you will be able to view and utilize Trimble Access that way on your desktop or laptop. And you can simulate a base station setup and everything like that. I think it's on the Access icon. You go in there, Ben, isn't it? Access icon, top left. Or support, yeah. I think it is support, I can't remember. No, it's the support one. There is actually a document that we can share if anybody's interested in how to do that. There is a way of doing that.
Not sure why it's not popping up. It should be opening.
Yeah. No worries, Ben. I think you're not signed in. That's fine. But yeah, there is ways you can reach out to us and we can get the Access guys to help you out with that if you want to use that. Chad is asking what edition of TBC Perpetual is required to replicate everything we showed you today, Ben. So what licenses are required?
There is actually no restriction. Any license that you have for TBC, you can use the Connected Workspace. So yeah, no restriction on perpetual or subscription.
Only thing that we did mention is to sync in Trimble Access, you will have to have a up-to-date maintenance for your Trimble Access software. If that's not up to date, then you will not have the syncing capabilities in Trimble Access. So that's the only thing I can quickly think of that might limit you.
I agree that that's the only thing I think right now there's a restriction.
Yeah. Does the second admin need Trimble Business Center subscription account, or they can be admin on a normal TID? They can be an admin on a normal TID as far as I know, Ben. There's no check if I have a license. If you go into Trimble Sync, I think we don't need to have a license for an admin. We'll just have to check on that, I think.
Sorry, Albert, my dog was barking like crazy, so I missed part of
it. As you added me as the second admin on the project, does that specific person need to have a subscription or a Trimble Business Center license to be added as an admin?
That I'm not sure. I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so. But again, this is more of a connect question. So yeah,
we'll check into that and get back to you on that one. Sorry, that was anonymous. Chad, can you define a default team that would like a template so you can have them set up every time you do a project in Connect?
Yes, you can actually create a group, enter the number of people. Right now, I just
and then you'll see there on the bottom right, just below the admin, you can add the group if you want to a project. So while Ben taps that, yes, you can do that. So you can create a group of people and you will have the option to actually add them to each of your projects that you want to. Quick question here. Can a crew of 2 collect data on the same job file and it will automatically sync the data, Ben? I have to check with the Access guys on that one.
If it's the same job file, I believe you cannot, but they can link the same design files. You could have 200 field guys, field people out in the field. They could use, in this case, we had the 3 design files. They can all link the same design files.
Yeah.
So,
but you won't have an active syncing of the captured data as the guys work in the field. That's not going to be possible at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly see. So Tex asks, so as for now, you still need to use sync for the office to create a job that will be available in Connect. So Tex, yes, if you want to have the project set up, done with the correct coordinate system and everything that the guy can just open up directly in Trimble Access, yes, you'll have to use Sync Manager to do that project setup at the moment. That is something we're working on to fix in the next phase, is where it will be able to sync that data directly from Trimble Business Center with all the project settings into Connect. Yeah, the automatic sync. So Philippe, on the question there, if you set it to sync every 5 minutes, as you work, when that 5-minute timer runs down, Trimble Access will automatically sync to Connect. If you have an active connection to the internet, that will automatically sync the job. So you don't have to worry about manually syncing the data. If you activated that automatic sync and you set it to 5 or 10 minutes, as you work every 10 minutes, your data will automatically sync into Trimble Connect. You just continue working and you don't have to worry about loading the data into the cloud. CT asking, hey Ben, regarding the question about sending project properties, can you export JXL but not a job? Not sure if that is a workaround in the short term.
I think that's a good point, CT. Correct, you can export a JXL, but not a job file.
Not a job
So,
file,
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that
out. What are the current ramifications on Connect functionality based on the status of your Access and TBC warranties? I think we did answer that. So there's no ramifications on the Connect functionality on your TBC and Access warranties. It's just the functionality of downloading and uploading data in Trimble Access will be restricted if you don't have a maintenance or warranty that's active on that device. How are we looking for time? Let's get another minute or two, Ben, and then we'll have to answer some of these questions offline and send the guys some emails.
Sounds good.
If they're able to see other fieldwork data as they collect new features. So no, there's no live link, unfortunately, to see the data that others have captured. You will only see that when you import it into TBC. I know the guys are working on some of those things. Anything else that you spot on the Q&A section, Ben, that you feel we need to answer here quickly so that everybody gets the answer?
Some of these things, like Bob's question about importing a larger selection, are all, again, we're still working on the Connected Workspace. Actually, any of your enhancement requests, if you want to put that in the chat, that would be great. But something like this, that's something we're looking into. Bringing a DINI file in, since that's something we can't do since we don't have, that file won't be in Access. These are some great questions.
Yeah, guys, I think what we'll do is there's a lot of questions and we can probably spend the next hour answering all of this, but we are running out of time. So we will definitely, we do get all these Q&A questions of yours with the link. If you signed up with your email address, we'll be able to reach out to you. We'll definitely refer some of these requests and questions to the Connect team, as well as to the Trimble Access team, and get them to reach out to you guys with answers on some of these as well. So please keep a lookout for that. Ben, if you can quickly share the presentation again for us. So we just run through the resources. There we go. Q&A was done. And then just quickly the resources. Just sorry guys.
Sorry.
Just had a quick flyby over my area. Sorry about that. Quickly on the resources, everything TBC related. So guys, again, on the support tab, if you need anything related to the power hours, you'll see there is the power hour button. You can access any of the power hours since we started with this in 2016, I think. They are all still available on the web interface there. So please go have a look back. This power hour will be uploaded in the next day or two. You can review it. The release notes, so if you want to see that on the latest 2022 2024 version, you can find it over there. The YouTube channel, I have started uploading some product workflow videos for the latest enhancements in 2024. I will do a short little video on this connected workflow as well, so that will be up in the next week. The web pages are there. Again, just to mention, if you want to test out any of the capabilities in TBC and you don't have a license for it, remember the 30-day trial license subscription that you can get. So just go into the geospatial webpage or the construction one, and you can find it there. And then right at the bottom, the TBC resources PDF. That is a PDF document that we keep up to date with all the relevant information relating to TBC. So you have any questions relating to TBC, that TBC resources PDF is the best place to go and find if we have any available information on your questions that you have. And that's it for today. I think, Ben, any last comments or recommendations from your side, Ben, before we finish off today?
Just give the Connected Workspace a try. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. We'll try to answer some of your questions. And if you have any enhancement requests, go ahead and put them in the question and answer. But I really appreciate everybody attending, and hopefully this this walkthrough was very helpful and beneficial.
Thanks so much, Ben. Just on the email addresses there, guys, there is an underscore between our names and our surnames. So mine will be albert_willifrew@trimble.com, and the same for Ben. Unfortunately, it doesn't show up so nicely when it does it that way. And then just we had a quick question I saw. How often do we do power hours? Once every month. And the aim is to do it on the last Wednesday of each month. There will be a power hour. So we already have the next 3 lined up, so have a look out for that and take it noted down. The last Wednesday of every month is the power hour day that we will have the next one. So thanks so much, Ben, for your time. Appreciate it. Everyone that was on the power hour call today, thank you so much for your time as well. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be, and hope to see you guys around for the next one in the end of May, June. Thanks so much, Ben. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.